I watched all the new episodes this week for Cross, Hijack, and Shrinking, so let's talk about them all with full spoilers in my first ever rapid fire format. Starting out with Cross, and this week's episode was episode 4 for season 2, and it's arguably the best of the season yet. We learned a lot of what is going on, and all of the different stories that we are following, for the most part, all made good movement. Up until this point, Cross and Kayla have thought that Lincoln/Gustavo is the real killer, but they figured out that he is actually someone who is just basically worshiping the real vigilante, and now they know what Luz looks like. Now, speaking of Luz, I was a little shocked at first that her and Gustavo got together, but looking back at it now, it makes complete sense because of how much this means to the both of them. When it comes to Kayla, we got a really big reveal for this whole mystery conspiracy that we've been following with her, Operation Bad Religion, and it was revealed that she was involved in some type of government or illegal experimentation with soldiers that led to death. And I will say it again, I am just as interested in that plotline as I am with the Luz story right now. Something that I'm not as interested in right now is the Samson storyline with his mother. And it's unfortunate because I felt different about it after the first 3 episodes, but after seeing a single episode on its own, I can't help but feel bummed because he really does feel sidelined right now. Moving on to Hijack, and this week's episode was episode 6 for season 2, and I am so happy to say that I am now feeling the feeling I had for season 1 all over again. The episode is full of all kinds of tension. Even though there is still a lot to figure out, everything is slowly starting to fall in place. A big piece of information we learned in the episode is that a man or agent inside the John Bailey Brown convoy is actually partly responsible for everything. He is Jess's handler for the situation and the man that Sam met in the pub the night before everything started. Now, I don't think he's the one calling the shots. I do think he's another middleman, but again, we are finally starting to get answers. We also learned that the bomb at the end of last week's episode actually knocked out all of the communications in the train, which means authorities can't track them. That adds a really cool, intense, and unpredictability factor for everything that's coming up in these next 2 episodes. I just want to say that we all know that Sam is not the bad guy. He's just in a very bad situation. He's in control now. He has hostages, but he's trying to help all of them survive the situation. But no one above the ground actually knows that yet, and I like that the show has been keeping that a secret and it hasn't been revealed just yet. And finally, we have Shrinking, with this week's episode being episode 4 for season 3, and it's just my opinion, but this is a damn near perfect episode of television. I shouldn't be surprised by this, but I continue to be impressed every single week at how this show balances the clever comedy, the very emotional breakthroughs, those little aha moments, but also all of its characters, as they are all used brilliantly. It could literally be any character, pairing, or group at any time, and there were a couple of standout moments in this week's episode, with the first being the much-needed conversation between Gabby and Jimmy, where she finally tells him how she really feels about them hanging out with the man who killed their husband and mother and her best friend. It's something that has gotten overlooked the entire time and is one of those real-life conversations and moments that this show has always done so well. But the standout and heart of the episode was Paul, and the season has taken a lot of time showing so far that his Parkinson's has progressed, but this episode specifically was really focused on him facing anyone's greatest fear of losing who they are. Even that being the case, he spent the majority of the time in this episode listening to his patients, helping a lot of other characters, but also having a huge moment of clarity thanks to a very important conversation from a new patient played by Michael J. Fox. And it was a beautiful moment, and in that moment, he learned that it's not his work that's giving him purpose or making him who he is. It's those that he has taught and those that he loves. 3 things. Let me know what you thought about all of these new episodes. Leave your opinion on this new rapid fire format and hit that follow button for more TV content.